What's up everyone? In today's video I'm going to be teaching you my new SION build that I've been secretly using to climb the solo queue ladder. Hint hint, it's Smite SION top lane. But before we delve into the nitty gritty of the build, I'd like to show you why Smite SION is more successful than a traditional SION build via this quick little sponsored segment from our friends over at Mobalytics. Okay, since we last took a look at Mobalytics, they've been on the grind and are now officially in open beta. Just to clarify, everyone has access to everything now, which is awesome. If you're interested in seeing what Mobalytics has to say about your playstyle, all you have to do is click the link in the description and it'll redirect you to their website. From here, just enter your summoner's name and select the region you play on. Mobalytics will then analyze your account and give you a rating on your playstyle. There's a bunch of stuff you can do with Mobalytics, but for the purpose of this video, let's just take a look at how Smite SION compares to a more traditional SION build. So in this example, we'll compare my account that's playing Smite SION to another great challenger SION main, Mr. iCloser. On this graph, Smite SION is represented as the red and Standard SION is represented as the blue. Mobalytics has highlighted key components of each playstyle, and the differences between the two builds are quite clear. Smite SION is more consistent, versatile, farms better, and thanks to the Poacher's jungle item, also provides more vision for its team. Of course, this is just a quick summary with a small sample size, but hopefully by the end of the video you'll be interested in trying both the build and the website. I seriously do recommend you take a few minutes to go and check out Mobalytics. It will quickly become one of your go-to league websites for information, I guarantee it. Boom! So we're going to take a look at both the runes and masteries. I'd recommend you just copy them. I've been running attack damage in the marks just because it's easier to farm. A lot of the time they're going to push you in and you're going to be farming under the tower. It's for that reason that I recommend you just stick with the marks, because I know a lot of people are going to be asking about using penetration. Technically it scales better, but this build just revolves around farming efficiently and stacking health on your W. For the glyphs, you can use whatever you want, to be honest. It's really flexible. I'm personally just running 10% scaling cooldown reduction and some scaling magic resist. Okay, moving on to the masteries. The most important thing to be using is the Stoneborn Keystone. This is going to further increase your total health by 5%, in addition to the 9% we just got from the runes. So as it stands, we're currently at 14% total health increase from just the runes and masteries. For the summoner spells, you're running Smite and Teleport. This is going to allow us to build Cinderhulk. The reason we'd want Cinderhulk over Sunfire Cape is because it provides 20% bonus health. For those of you who don't know what bonus health is, that means anything additional to the base stats of the champion, including both runes and mastery. Let's look back at what we're getting. We're getting 9% increased health from the runes, we're getting 5% total health increase from the masteries, and now we're getting 20% bonus health in addition to all that from the Cinderhulk. The idea behind the build is that we're just getting a bunch of free health. Most of us here are aware of SION's W passive, but for those who don't actually play SION, I'll fill you in because I keep referencing it, but I don't actually explain what his W passive is. Basically, SION permanently gains 3 health for each minion that he kills. He also gains 10 bonus health from champions and large jungle camps. And it's for this reason that you're going to be doing everything within your power to dial in and just farm. You'll be gaining bonus health from each of the minions you kill, then that's going to be increased by your Cinderhulk item, the runes, and also the masteries. Even if you get ganked and die because you don't have flash, it doesn't really matter. You're going to be ahead in farm, and you're going to be scaling much harder because health is valued at so much now. Almost every game, you're going to be starting lane with the Corruption Potion. If you end up laning against an opponent with an excessive amount of poke, you could consider going with the Doran Shield instead. As we've gone over, stacking health is our first priority, which means at level 1, the first skill you'll be leveling up is W. There's a few tricks you can do while starting laning as Smite SION. In this first scenario, your opponent is leashing the enemy jungler and arrives late to lane. If this occurs, you should wait until all 3 minions are at half health, then charge your W and activate it once your opponent walks up to farm. This method is going to allow you to secure all the minions plus deal damage at the same time. If you're on the blue side and the enemy jungler is starting on the Wraiths, wait until around 138 and start moving over to the jungle camp. You should be able to just walk up and smite the big Wraith. Most of the time, the enemy jungler will be keeping his smite for the red buff, and it won't even cross his mind that top SION has smite. If you're fast, you can make it back to lane just in time to not miss any minions. Make sure during laning you're effectively using your smite to secure any minions that you usually can't get. Another trick is to trade with your opponent just before you're about to reach level 2, then quickly smite a minion during the trade to catch him off guard. Most of the time, you should allow your opponent to be the aggressor and push the minions towards you. This gives your jungler the opportunity to easily gank your lane. Sion carries a lot of utility that you can use to slow your opponent in order to make the gank successful. Taking Smite over Flash leaves us vulnerable to early ganks. This is even more of a reason for us to play passive and allow our opponents to push us in, at least during the early laning phase anyway. Later on, we're going to be so tanky that if they gank us, they're wasting their time. The build order really depends on the enemy team comp, but one thing that remains consistent each game is that your first purchased item is always the Cinderhulk. You need to make sure that you're reaching at least 900 gold before your first back. This will allow you to purchase Balmy Cinder. Once you've attained this item, you should be able to trade favorably and take control of the lane. You need to get in the habit of pushing the wave and roaming for more gold or vision. Never just sit in the lane waiting for the next wave. You instead could be securing vision or attaining extra gold from the scuttles, golems, or gromp. Not only that, but you could be rejuvenating your mana pool and health by killing the plants in the river. You should have the mindset that the entire river is yours. Not only your lane, but you own the river as well. So if there's anything in that river that you haven't yet killed or watered, you're not playing the build correctly. The next time you go back, you should have reached 1.6 thousand gold. This gives you enough gold to complete the Cinderhulk item. It's now up to you to figure out which of the 3 jungle items you need. Most of the time you should just go poachers for the wards, but if you're versing a top laner who's running Ignite like Tryndamere or Quinn and their sole goal is to kill you, then you should go skirmishers. I'm going to leave a few build options on the screen, but I encourage you to just build whatever you think is going to win you the game. I never restrict myself to one build. The core item is the Cinderhulk. After that, just build whatever you want. The rest of the game plays out fairly simple. Try avoid roaming and teleporting as it's going to put you behind, trust in the build and keep farming no matter what. You should be aiming to match your CS to the clock. Eventually, once you've gotten used to the selfish playstyle, you'll easily be able to beat it. Some of the other perks of Smite is of course objective control. Because you'll be AFK farming most of the game, you're going to easily have 2 to 3 levels on the enemy jungler. This is going to give you a massive edge when it comes to securing objectives. Late game's pretty simple. Just identify if your ADC requires peel. If not, position yourself between the enemy carries and your own, then activate your stone plate. Assuming you're farmed well, you'll easily hit over 10k health. Your goal is to soak as much damage from the enemy carries while making sure your own AD carry is still in a safe position to deal damage. Make sure you're doing everything you can to keep your carries alive. If you need to throw yourself in front of the enemy as a sacrificial lamb, you should do that. Anyway, I think I've covered almost everything. This was my first guide, so feel free to give me some feedback. I think I'll just throw in some highlights on the end here to reach the juicy 10-minute payday. So thanks for watching and good luck with Smite Sion. Oh yeah, don't forget to check out Mobalytics. Link is in the description. Peace.
I'm sitting pretty impatient, but I'm not.
Get it on, I'm for me. Put in work like my time sheet. You got it like a 63. I'ma buy a new city. Then I ride in the park with me. Oh, I'm a boo. And she down break.